The Farrell Valve Bag attaches to your child's feeding tube and allows extra air to escape from your child's stomach. Use this video if your child has a G tube, GJ tube, or NG tube and are using the Farrell Valve Bag when not feeding your child. If this is not the correct Farrell Valve Bag video for your child, see the links in the description for other Farrell Valve Bag videos. Never connect the Farrell Valve Bag to an NJ tube, J tube, or J port of the GJ tube. Never use the Farrell Valve Bag to vent the small intestine. To use the Farrell Valve Bag, first wash your hands. Then hang the Farrell Valve Bag so it's higher than your child's stomach. The bag must be higher than the stomach at all times. On the Farrell Valve Bag tubing, open the white clamp and open the blue clamp. On the Y connector on the Farrell Valve Bag tubing, push the plug end of the cap into the med flushing port. If you use a feeding tube extension, push the Farrell Valve Bag adapter into the large port on the feeding tube extension. Connect the other end of the feeding tube extension to the G port on the feeding tube. Be sure the caps on the other feeding tube extension ports are closed. If you don't use a feeding tube extension, push the Farrell Valve Bag adapter into the G port on the feeding tube. Make sure you have the Y connector at or below the level of your child's stomach. The Farrell Valve Bag cannot be on the floor. The Farrell Valve Bag is now removing extra air from your child's stomach. The extra air in your child's stomach escapes through the vent valve, so the Farrell Valve Bag will not fill with air. You should use a new Farrell Valve Bag every 24 hours. To stop using the Farrell Valve Bag, first wash your hands. Then, make sure the Farrell Valve Bag is empty. When the Farrell Valve Bag is empty, close the feeding tube extension clamp, the blue clamp, and the white clamp on the Farrell Valve Bag tubing. If your doctor orders a water flush, fill a new syringe with the amount of water your doctor ordered. Open the med flushing port of the Y connector and insert the water syringe. Open the blue clamp and the feeding tube extension clamp, then push the syringe plunger to give water. When the syringe is empty, close the extension clamp and the blue clamp and remove the water syringe and close the Y connector. After you are done giving the water flush, or if your doctor has not ordered the water flush, disconnect the Farrell Valve Bag adapter from the feeding tube extension or feeding tube and recap the adapter.